Well, I know Kahu's out there saying goodbye to some of our visitors. I know we're all anxious to get through this meeting. So he'll come on in. So we'll just go ahead and get the meeting started for our annual Kōloa Union Church meeting of members. And to open our meeting, I'm going to have Karen come up. If you don't know, we have a prayer chairperson, and that's Karen Johnson. Thank you, Karen.
Anyway, I wish Alan were here because I want to say what a wonderful sermon. And there's no question in my mind that Kalaupapa has become a sacred place. And I feel he brought it with him today. And with Talka's poem, I really feel it. So I'm grateful that we have Kalaupapa Sunday. And today's also our annual meeting. We're starting a new year, everybody. So thank you, O Lord, for 2023 that we survived and we actually had a good year as a church. And I am grateful for all the people that have made it possible. Amen.
Thank you, Karen, for opening us in prayer. And Kalaupapa is special. And I was talking to Taka, I think when we visited Kalaupapa, his brother actually was one of those that was helping us learn the ways of fishing in Kalaupapa, because he couldn't actually cast things because of their hands and things. The best he could do was lay nets across the openings of a lot of these reefs and things, and I was amazed at the fish they caught. You know, we helped out in these little tide pools like you see in Poipu. I mean, they caught fish like this, getting in a net. It was so much fun. Okay, Kahu's here, so so we're going to. The first order of business is, if you look in your church not church membership, but the annual report, there's minutes from January 29th, 2023, and you can see it on page 2 and 3. And at this time, I want to entertain anyone who may have seen any corrections that need to be made, any amendments to the meeting, if you can recall that meeting. And if not, I'm going to entertain a motion to accept the minutes as circulated.
I move to accept the minutes.
Okay. Second. We have a motion by Tiffany and a second by Penny. Okay. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by an aye. Aye. And against by a nay. Okay. Well, we won't go through all of the reports that are in there, but we will want to need to look at that, because I'm going to ask for motion later on. But before that, maybe I'm going to have Kahu, if he wants to say anything special regarding this past year.
One of these days, I might just surprise all of you and say, no, I don't have anything special to say. But sorry, Tiffany. Oh, I can always think of something special to say because this is a special congregation. And as I reflect back over this last year, it just seems like we've just been so blessed with people and gifts and resources. And it seems like just when there's a need that we have, somebody shows up with whatever it is to meet that need. And I'm talking to each and every one of you that gives in so many different ways that you give. One of the things that I've been spending a lot of extra time on this past year is with our youth. And part of that is because our kitchen is pretty much not there, if you haven't noticed. And so I've just volunteered to host the youth group at the parsonage. What I didn't realize is how much I would enjoy that. It's just been so fun having Carmela and so many of her friends and other youth just showing up at the parsonage and participating, and it's just such a great group of kids. And Tiffany's doing a fantastic job, and I have really enjoyed working with you, Tiffany. So thank you for all that you do, and thanks for also all the people that support the youth in so many ways when we need food or a place for them to be, or things that are needed up in Kokee at the retreats that that we're already doing again a couple times a year. All the little bits and things that you do for the youth group really makes a huge difference when you think of it all together. One thing I just kind of wanted to point out, I think most of you are aware that my next sabbatical is coming up, and that begins on March 11th. And I will be going back to southern France outside of Bordeaux. I'll be doing a house exchange again with Christian and Paul Risso. And so they will be, a few days after I leave, I'm actually going to spend some time in New York seeing Polani and Isabel on my way to France. And so around the middle of March, Christian and Paul will be coming and staying at the parsonage. And so they'll be here till early June. And then I can't remember the exact day I get back on the island, but I will be back to work officially on June 12th, the day after Kamehameha Day. So I know that things will run smoothly while I'm gone, just like they did last time I took a sabbatical. But I did want to say that that's one of the things that makes me feel really good about this church. I feel so appreciated when I'm here. But then when I leave, I just know that the capable people of this congregation just keep things moving along just as smoothly as if I were here. And so one of the things that is going to be a little bit of a challenge this year is, since the kitchen isn't done yet and I will not be here, Tiffany is going to need some extra help with people saying, oh, we'll open our home, or a place where you can have youth groups. So if you know of a place or are willing to do that, just contact Tiffany. It's also time to start thinking about what we've accomplished over the last, it was supposed to be 3 years, and then the pandemic happened. So it's kind of like every 3 years or so we get together with the deacons and the council and anybody else who wants to come, and we just kind of reflect back on where we've been in a church, as a church, and where we believe God leading us next. And so normally we would have gotten together and offered that again last year or the year before, but the pandemic really kind of put things off for a while. And we talked about that, I think, at last congregational annual meeting, as well as the deacons and the council have talked about this. But we've kind of massaged a little bit some of the dates when we were thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have such and such done or accomplished by a certain date. One of the things is the kitchen, and Dan has told me that things are slowly moving along, but by the time I get back from my sabbatical, the kitchen, hopefully, knock on wood, should be completely done. But it's time for the leaders of the church and anybody who can show up, I consider you a leader as well, to come together and say, look at where we've been and what's coming up. What do we want to focus on for the next 3 to 4 years as a congregation? So just know that when I get back from my sabbatical, we're going to be talking about a date to get together late summer, early fall, just to kind of re-envision our vision. So anyway, I could go on and on about all the wonderful things that have happened in the church and how excited I am to remain here. But I know that some of you have football games to get to and other things. And so unless anybody has any questions, I will turn the meeting back over to Doug. Thank you.
Thank you, Kahu, and we thank you for your leadership and how you've guided us through the many years, and hopefully many more years to come. And especially your sermons have been, for me, very nourishing to my soul. So thank you for that, especially today. Yes, so you can look in the reports. I mean, there's so much reports in there, and you go around the room, you can see all the people that have contributed to this church. But I just want to open up right now to any of the chairs of the different committees if you want to say anything at this point regarding that. Okay, we have Michael from the Deacons.
I'd be remiss in my duties if I didn't get up here and thank Joanne profusely for what you've done. I don't know if everybody knows, Joanne has decided to step down as being a deacon. She's always beat me here in the morning, and she did so much for us. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
And thank you, Michael, for all you do. Yes, I mean, down the list, you can see You got Becky as our treasurer. You got people that help with all our special activities to the community. Got social activities, and Dan works diligently to upgrade the property, and the kitchen is our next big project. And hopefully when that's finished this year, we will have fellowship again in Moore Hall and other things. And we can thank the Prayers and Squares for the many quotes that they have donated. My mom, in her last days, she was embraced by all of your prayers. So thank you for that. And then Becky, who does all the church's report. I know you want to say something here. And if you can read her report, this past year, we've had to shift funds around to cover some unexpected expenses, and that's going to continue on many times over the years. And so we're just going to ask for a little bit more giving if possible.
Thanks, Doug. Today was really, really a special day. Thank you. And thank you, Doug. Thanks to all the musicians and Rose for your beautiful hula. I'm not going to read my report or go over anything. I just wanted to say really quickly that today's action is going to be to hopefully approve the budget for this 2024 year. It's hard to say that, 2024. Just want you to know what the process is for that. Basically, every month I have a report that I get all the information for the income and expenditures from Penny. I put that into a QuickBooks system, and then that's what generates the monthly reports. And so every month there is a new financial report that's in Penny's office if anybody wants to ever look at it. If you ever have a question about anything, any financial anything, please feel free to ask. You can either email me, text me, call me, approach me, whatever. But basically in the fall, Penny, Kahu, and I, and sometimes other people, and anybody's really welcome to be on that budget or finance committee if you would like to be. And we put together a proposed budget for the next year based on what our actual was for that year and then what we project for the coming year. So that's basically the process, and you will see in this, I think the treasurer report is more than any other, but it's our profit and loss statements and financial statements. But I just want to thank Alan, Penny, Joni does all of the reports for the giving during the year. Everyone will receive a report about that. Anyway, and so that's all I have, I think. Thank you.
So we're not going to vote on it just yet, but please look at the proposed budget on page 10 and 11. So when you get to that vote, you see a good look of what we're anticipating for next year. And if you look at Becky's report, I mean, again, our church has been recognized for giving to the 5 special offerings of the United Church of Christ. And you can see how much we've given. I didn't realize we gave that much this past year, including other special offerings. And per capita, our church has also been recognized as a high giving per capita church. So congratulations to all of you on that. Yes, so please read all the reports, and you can see their names around here as you look who wrote the reports. And it's going to take forever to thank everyone here, but thank you for all you do. And then, but the last one I wanted to mention was the, you didn't know, during the pandemic, we did have a committee that kept us safe, and Penny Jessup was so instrumental in keeping up to date on all the latest recommendations, locally, and the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control. And I think we did very well during this pandemic, and we altered our services to meet those requirements. And hopefully we won't have to use them ever again. But I want to thank you for keeping us safe. Okay. So I think at this point I have to, short of the budget, we're going to do that later. I think we have to approve the reports that were given before you. So I'm going to do it as a blanket approval if possible. So I'm going to entertain a motion. Unless you had any questions.
To accept all the reports.
Okay. So a motion to accept all the reports as circulated, and if I can have a second by Debbie Gunning. Okay, all those in favor of accepting the reports, please signify by an aye. Aye, thanks. Okay. Well, is there any old business that anyone wanted to bring up at this point? I know Tiffany has something she wanted to mention about, the youth nowadays, they don't carry paper anymore. So you want to bring it up, Tiffany? Or?
Well, it's not only about, it's about even helping our environment, as these books are, I don't know, so many 20 pages long or whatever. So I've always been asking if we can get an electronic version of it. Yeah, and as we want younger kids to come in, I think they would prefer an electronic version that they would also read, probably more than just, here you go, and those. Because honestly, for me, after this, it kind of just goes into the trash. So I'm just thinking I just wasted that much trees. So we were thinking as the council to do an opt-in. So if next year you would like to get a digital copy, then letting Auntie Penny know, and she won't print out a hard copy for you, and you'll get it via email. Right? That's it. Yes.
This is for the report.
Yes, for all of the reports. So I also think that with that and the directory, so I also do think that with that, we'll be a little bit more ahead of time, so you'd probably get it like a week before than the day of church, and you can review it, a little bit more.
Provided everybody gets their reports in.
Yeah. But I think we did good this year, right? So we're getting there. But yeah, that's that.
Yes, so we'll have more discussion on that, and for those who prefer to get a digital report or online, we might have that option for you. Thanks, Tiffany, for bringing that up. Okay, well, we're moving right along. We're going to our new business, and the first part of it is the church always has these get-togethers, and some are very important. One is the one that takes place on this island, and there's the Spring Aha Mokupuni, and another one is a statewide United Church of Christ meeting, and it varies. Some of this is on Oahu, some of this is on another island. That's the Aha Pa'aina, and we want to elect representatives for us at these meetings. And I forgot how much we have for the Spring Aha Mokupuni. Do we have like two representatives? Okay. And then for the Aha Pa'aina, the Kahu always has a voting person, I think, at the Aha, yeah. But I think we have two. Oh, well, maybe you know more of that, yeah.
Do you want me just to say that?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So for Aha Mokupuni in May, which will be the annual meeting of the Kauai Association of the United Church of Christ, we get 2 lay delegates and a pastor and a youth or young adult delegate who's a member of the church who's 30 years of age or less. So that would be Carmela, if she's willing. And then we need 2 delegates also to represent. So that is for the Aha Mokupuni. Michael, do we have a date yet? Okay, so Michael is the president, so he should know before anybody else, and he'll let us know when the date is. But I would say it's one of the first. It's never on Mother's Day weekend, I don't think, but it's this.
Usually the first
Friday and Saturday of May. The first Friday and Saturday of May is usually when it's at. So if Carmela's willing, well, she would be our only youth delegate as an actual member that could go, and then we need 2 others. And as a reminder, I'll be on my sabbatical, so it's especially important that we have a couple people representing our church in May. Okay? Tiffany.
Okay, Tiffany would like to be one of the adult delegates for our church. Is there anyone else who would like that? And Carmela for the youth, right?
Yes. Carmela for the youth.
The other thing is, Michael is an automatic delegate because of his position as president. So this is an opportunity for us to actually have 3 delegates plus a youth. So, Michael will probably volunteer if nobody else does, but it'd be nice to have another person that goes along with Michael and Tiffany and Carmela.
I'll probably be there. I like to go to that island one, but you know, it's always important to see all other people, and that's time. Sometimes they have even a day before they have where the choirs meet or they have this song
Let's get it
fest.
outside of the Dumichel family.
So-
We've been the ones for the past couple of years.
So if anyone wants to be a delegate to that, it's kind of nice actually. You know, nice get together, and it's important business of
And it's also nice getting to know people from the other churches as well.
yeah, and you know, it's just some important business, and a lot of it is what the association is going after, and they also talk about the Waineke cabins and how we're doing on that also, and funding for a lot of other things on church, even including youth events, which is going to be very important. Does anyone have a desire for that? Okay. Well, we can keep it open. If not, I'll be the option on that. But if we can keep that one open for someone to be a delegate.
Since Michael is going to be there anyway, I would suggest that Doug just be the other delegate, and if somebody really wants to arm wrestle him and go instead, just let him know, and he'll let you. How's that?
Yeah, let me know, because I'll still be there, you know. But I think it's a nice time for when the churches get together, you get to meet the other churches and some of their leaders there, and you kind of know what's happening with the Association of Kauai. Okay, so I'll put myself there. Okay, now for the Ahapa'aina, and where's that? Do we know the location?
So this will be in Honolulu. It'll actually be live, not on Zoom. I think it's Central Union Church. We'll be hosting Ahapai'aina June 13th through 15th. So I get back to the office on the 12th, and later that day or the next day, I'll be hopping on a plane to go to this. And we get one adult delegate and one youth delegate, which again would be Carmela, if she can go. And the other thing I wanted to point out is this year there will be an intentional youth track. And so Tiffany's already talking to some of our youth, in middle school and high school, I think, right? Up or college age even, if anybody's interested in going and participating. So technically it's up to age 30, so like if Logan's over there and he wants to come, he could participate in it. So anyway, this year they're getting back to having a youth track, and it will be on location. So Tiffany, are you planning on being a delegate actually? And Carmela would be our youth delegate, so those would be the two that we would go. That we would nominate, because I'm automatic as a pastor. I'm a delegate, whether you want me to represent you or not.
Yeah. So if it's okay with you, we'll have Tiffany as adult delegate, and if Carmela can go, she'll be the youth delegate. And the church has funds for that to send our delegates to this meeting. It's a very good meeting, though, even if you want to go with not being a delegate, because they have, again, you see what's happening at the Hawaii Association, the whole association, and they usually have some pretty good speakers and workshops there, so they're getting back to that.
And this year, because I have all the time in the world. So for the Ahapai'aina, it's going to be focused on renewing. It's Ho'ola Ho is the theme, which means to renew. So basically, they want everybody to get together and kind of renew, connections and renew their church, building a church, getting all together again. So that's what it is. So Karen, she's going to be kind of like our keynote, but she's also going to participate. They're going to do coffee talks where they're going to break out into smaller groups and get everybody's input in how we can make things better as, we come from a single church to our association to the conference. And then she's also going to be spending one of the days partial also with the youth groups, with the youth track to talk to them as well, what they want to see in the church. So during the Ahapai'aina, there's a youth camp the same days from June 13th through the 15th, but we are looking at an option to extend it to the 16th. For most people, they're going to be staying at the Pagoda Hotel. It's going to be at Central Union Church. They're seeing if the youth can also stay at Pagoda if they have enough rooms available, depending on the youth coming. So.
Yeah, I just want Tiffany to mention that because we want to send as many youth as we can to participate. So I'm sure there's going to be fundraisers along the way, so please support our youth. Okay, so first order of business in the new business would be if anyone opposes to that slate we just made, where Tiffany and Carmela, Tiffany adult, Carmela youth, and I also an adult, to the spring Mokupuni, and for the Aha Paina as representatives, we have Tiffany and Carmela. I'm going to take this by consensus then. Okay. Anyone oppose? None. Okay, perfect. Thanks. Okay, now a very important part of our business is for the approval of the 2024 budget. And you can see, and I got to thank those who are involved to put that together. And that's on page 10 and 11. And you can see our proposed expenses and what we hope we'll be giving throughout this year. We're doing it on faith also. But
I move to accept the budget.
okay,
Second.
we have a motion by our famous deacon, Michael, to accept, and then a second by Tiffany. Any discussion? Okay, we'll put it to the vote. All those in favor of the motion for our 2024 budget, please signify by an aye. Aye. And against by nay. Thank you. Wow, so easy. And then now I'm going to ask our other super deacon, who's stepping off of deaconship. We'll ask Joanne to come up as she gathered our slate of officers for next year.
So on the last page of your packet is the nominating committee's, some proposals and some standing. So Douglas, Karen, Yvonne, and Becky, all are officers. The terms that are expiring this year are Douglas, Debbie, and Kay. And then if you see Josie Paragal is, and then we need to revote for Douglas, Debbie, and Kay as deacons. The rest of the standing committees, I don't think that we addressed that. That's just informational. Oh, we vote on those, the committee heads for our standing committees and our special committees.
Thank you so much, Joanne, for putting the slate together. And as you can see, we're still short of Christian education. And we're going to work on that. Christian education, you think Tiffany's that, no, but she's actually the youth. She's a special youth part of it. Christian education was a Sunday school that partakes here on Sundays with very young children. And we're looking for anyone, and so I'm going to open up to the floor if anyone wants to take the position or be nominated for that position. I'm definitely looking for that. Otherwise, we're going to keep working on that part. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep looking. And hopefully we have some people in mind that have actually children coming here. Okay, so with that slate, and thank you for the slate, Joanna. I'm going to ask, well, first, if you want to close, I guess we'll close the nominations, if that's okay with you, by consensus. Okay, now we're going to vote on the slate. And I'm going to ask for a motion to accept the slate, or
Move to accept.
Becky moves to
Second.
accept. Becky, second my moves to accept.
We're going to do second him.
Okay, and Owen.
Owen.
Yeah, Owen Strong. We'll second that. Okay, all those in favor of the slate presented before you, please signify by an aye. Aye. And against by nay. Okay, perfect. Tiffany just pointed out some numbers, I guess. What page was that, Tiffany?
The second page.
Okay. So this might go back a little bit.
So we
Yeah.
did 7 confirmations. Right, 7 youth got confirmed.
We have 0 there.
They went through confirmation, but to be confirmed means they joined the church usually.
Also 1 then.
So we have 1 that joined, and the others went to the confirmation retreat, but have not made that decision yet.
Yeah, okay, so that needs to be
Okay.
changed to 1
1.
then, at least, right? And
Oh,
then,
yeah, yeah.
Confirmation
and
is
then
1.
the baptism, Tricia didn't get baptized. Because Tricia was already baptized.
Oh, that's right, yeah, good catch.
Okay.
Free
So just those corrections there, yeah. And Yvonne's is another one is we want to thank is Yvonne and taking all these wonderful minutes and keeping us, our memories usually fail by this time. So
But I also think there was one more baptism. Sharon Matias' granddaughter? That was the year prior to? Okay.
okay, now, yeah. Any other business that we want to bring up at this point in time? Wishes or whatever?
Be new business?
Yes, new business.
I move that we move the meeting to the dead Sunday, which is the Sunday following this Sunday. So it'll be February the 2nd, 2025.
Okay. Kay has a desire to move. You see, the next meeting would be January 26th, but he wants to move it to the next Sunday, which is February 2nd, yeah, of 2025.
There's no football game that day.
Important, very important. Yes. Okay. Sounds good to me. Anybody has any pressing opposition to that move of our annual meeting? We'll go by consensus, no opposition. Okay, next annual meeting will be February 2nd, 2025.
So that means we get one extra week to get reparts in. So we should be able to get it in time and get it electronic.
Yes. Tiffany was the first to get her report in. Okay. Well, look around this room here. I mean, I'm so grateful for everyone that's here that has contributed so much, not only in terms of monetary contributions, but all the work and tasks that you put in and putting in music, putting in time, putting up tents, breaking down kitchens, everything. So much to be thankful for, and I'm so grateful to this church. And of course, you know, my mom brought us into this church when we were babies, and now I think she's smiling at the fruit of doing that. But, you want to say any closing things, Kahu?
Well, two quick things. I wanted to thank Doug for his exceptional leadership once again this year. And then secondly, we as a church are actually on slate to be the next Aha Mokupuni in the fall, which is usually the first Saturday, I believe, in November. And so when I get back from my sabbatical, I'll sit down with Penny and figure out the date that works best for us and let everybody know. But we will be most likely hosting all the other churches on the island here with a brand new kitchen. So anyway, we were actually supposed to do it this past year, but I said, you know, we don't have a kitchen. It's going to be really hard for us because the host church provides a meal. And so they said, oh, you know, just do it next year, basically. So I just kind of wanted to give everybody a heads up. And then, I guess I would be remiss to say that once again, it's been a pleasure working with Penny in the church office. And we couldn't do nearly as much as a church without her. So thank you, Penny, for all that you do.
Which brings me to the last part. Any announcements? And I was turned to Penny if any special announcements need to be made at this time. But Penny is like she's like the glue that sticks us together. Yeah. Being nosy is always important because it lets us know what's going on. Not only in the church, but for some of our friends who are on a meeting, and we get updated all the time on how they're doing. So thank you, Penny, for continuing on in this. Okay, I'm going to invite Karen back up, and she's going to adjourn us in prayer. So after prayer, this meeting of 2024 will be adjourned.
I'm hoping I'll get a new knee. Anyway, God never abandons us. That's my takeaway. 2024, this next year, will be the year of the dragon, and I'm expecting it to be bumpy. So stay awake, stay informed, and please pray, especially for our country and for the world. Oh God, in the spirit of Kalapapa, may we bring sacredness into our lives. May our Kahu Allen have a wonderful trip to France. May it be satisfying and enjoyable. May we as a country survive. May our kitchen be built. God, be with each of us. Amen.